Guess what, guys? We're back with more Tekken videos, but I'm running out of ideas, and this could be one of my last ones. So yeah, if you're waiting on the Tech Trap video, it's arrived. So what we're gonna do with the Tech Trap video is I'm gonna break it down into two parts. I'm gonna have Tech Traps that work out in the open space, and I'm gonna have ones that work only at the wall. Now, I'm sure everybody's not like a seasoned Tekken player maybe that watches this. So Tech Trap is basically something where if your opponent gets up a particular way, there's nothing they can do about what you do next, basically. Some Tech Traps, they're 50-50s, or most of them are 50-50s because it depends on how you get up. Or how you block. Some characters, since they don't have unblockables, they have 50-50s between low and mid options, and you have to guess because you don't have enough time or to see what they do or to block and recognize what they do for the most part. Now, Yoshimitsu, his are a little bit dirtier. They might not do as much damage as other people's tech traps, but they're unblockable. So they're pretty effective because as long as you predict correctly with how your opponent's going to move, they're going to work for you. So we'll go ahead and get into it, and we're going to start with open space. Now, some of this stuff I'm sure you guys have probably seen maybe in another video, but I'm just going to cover stuff that I've seen and I know in general. So first off, we're going to start off with something that was like day one stuff. Day one something I've seen people doing when Tekken 7 came out, basically. So this is a forward 3 into 4. So basically you just launch somebody, and you do the knee at the end. You have to dash a little further first, though. So you just tail spin, dash up. And since they tech rolled, that's going to stop this down one. But if they don't tech roll, say they don't get up, that covers them not getting up, and you get a free hit, and then you get to follow them for more damage. Now, this combo doesn't do the most damage, but it's pretty effective with how it works. Now, it hits anybody that's not going to get up backwards, or anybody that's not going to tech roll, I believe. It's going to hit you every time. Yeah, even if you try to get up backwards, it's going to hit you every time because you don't have enough time to duck low. And we'll just double check real quick with this. Yeah, you don't have enough time. It'll hit you, so you have to tech roll. Now, the thing is, if you tech roll, the 50-50 here is this. You just go ahead, whoop, you tech roll, you do sword sweep, can't do nothing about it, you get a fresh new combo. And yeah, at that point, you've done, I don't know, about 100 damage. And that's like 2/3 almost. So yeah, they're looking pretty bad if you guess right. So people, if they know, they generally don't want to get up, and they'll keep eating this down one, and then you get the follow-up after that. But that's a tech trap between a down one and sword sweep if they tech roll. Alright, next we're going to move on to something I seen later on, and I kind of developed my own philosophy with it, and I think it's my own kind of mix-up, but I'll go over the tried and true one first. Now, I mean, I don't know if there's a name for it, but I just like to call it the rule of 6, because if you end combos at 6 hits, it makes this extremely effective and nearly impossible to get away from. And in this particular situation, if you finish a combo with flashing steel, I think this is inescapable. So, say you do a poison wind combo on somebody, you hit them with it. Yep. They can't get away from this hit, no matter what. They don't have enough time to attack you, spring kick. Tech roll does not work, as you can see. I'll even put it on the right. Yeah, they still get up right into it. Quarter circle forward 1, this moonsault slayer, it hits on the ground too. So even if they stay down, still gonna hit them every time. And finally, if we tell them to get up backwards, it's not gonna work either. So I mean, you could say this is just. Oh, no, they didn't get up that time. I guess I gotta do quick back. But I guess you could say this isn't really a tech trap, but this is like a guaranteed hit if you set up combos in this manner. So it's like a free follow-up hit at the end. Huh, except for that didn't hit for some reason. Huh, well, I'll be. It could just be Master Raven, though. Maybe I'm mistaken with that one. Oh, well. But generally that does work if they don't do one or the other. Now, the different version I've found with this is if you do down 2-2 instead of flashing steel at the end. But let me check one thing. If you do... forget it. Alright, so say you do another combo. You end your 6 hits down here. This works in the same manner, except you have to cover a few different options with this one. So here's what we'll do. We'll go ahead and put them up to wake up backwards. So we'll do it again. Forward 3, down 2-2. And this will follow back roll. This will get side rolls too as well. Go ahead and put them on side roll. Either side this works on pretty much 99% of the time. In rare occasions this won't work. Whoop. So if they do a quick tech roll, it's going to catch them every time. Now, what this won't stop is if they do a continuous roll. Now, if they do a continuous roll, I can't set the computer to do it. What you can do, what I like to do, and what Wise Guy likes to call it is the Yoshi strut. You just hold down 1, you follow them, and that's unblockable, and it tracks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, you hit them with the Yoshi strut, and you follow them if they do a continuous roll, because continuous roll will get away from that if they stay on the ground in continuous roll in that situation. Now, if they like to continuous roll, what you could do too, this works, you put some mind games on them. You do an empty jump into sword slash, or sword sweep, yeah. And you get another combo. Because they'll be waiting for you to do the moonsault. If they are hitting buttons after they quick roll, you could just do full crouch 4, and you could counter it. And that will work too. Now, these options don't cover if they wake up mid-kick. Most players will not, because you could just simply follow them afterwards. And you're put face down backwards, so a lot of people feel like it's risky. So if people do like to get up mid-kick, what you can do is do Dragon Punch 1. So you just... Yep. But I'm not good at Dragon Punch, I'll admit it, so this might take me a couple tries, I apologize. Damn. Please bear with me. Technical difficulties. Oh my gosh. I need to buy a Shoryuken. That's... Oh, alright, well. We got this. Yeah, if they get up... This will hit them if they get up back as well. If they stay on the ground, this won't hit them, though. But I'll just try to show you guys that it does work if they... Yeah, it'll hit them if they get up backwards, and if they do the quick tech, it'll actually relaunch them. Well, I give them like 2 more tries if I don't get it. Oh well. There it goes. You relaunch them if they get up with the quick recovery. Or the back quick roll anyway. Either one. So yeah, that'll cover those options. If they want to get up mid kick too, what you can do, or low kick. This I don't think they can do anything about this. You just run up. Yep. up forward 2. That'll catch them every time, and you get a free fresh combo. So yeah, I mean, yeah, you got to cover like 2 or 3 options with that, but that will cover every single option. If they stay down, you can hit them with down 1, quarter circle forward 1. If they do quick tick, this will catch them too. Continuous roll, this will catch. If they get up back, they can kind of get away from it. If they do a mid kick, you will get blown up, but that's when you have to start doing down forward or dragon punch 1 or up forward 2. So yeah, or you could do like Fubuki or something. But yeah, that'll cover that option for that rule of 6 anyway. And we're gonna move on. We got a couple more. Now I covered this, but I'll just touch on it again. Say you say you do counter hit forward 3. You end the combo. Now, yeah, that hit me if they do a mid kick, but like I said, you'd have to go back to up forward 2. But if you counter hit somebody with this and they try to get up, and they try to do anything, you get another free hit. So yeah, if they try to do anything, unless they stay on the ground after counter hit down forward 1, flashing steel will hit every time as long as you do it right after. Every time. Let's see. And speaking of forward 3, we'll go ahead and go over that real quick. Now, you could do more damage if you just do this. Essentially, off of down forward 3. Yeah, tripping over my words. But what you could do, I did find out, you have to delay it a little bit. You can do down 2-1, wait a second, do Death Copter, and that'll hit them no matter what. And it'll give you the damage, and it'll put you right in front of them for more mix-up if you want to do that instead. Now, you lose a little bit of damage, but you are right in front of them after that. And you maintain the close proximity if you want to do that. So, say they do... Try to get up backwards. Can't do anything about it. Don't have enough time to get up. Mid kick won't work either. Mid kick will actually counter hit. Or low kick, either one, doesn't matter. If they stay down, Death Copter hits as well. My bad. Death Copter hits as well. And if they try to quick roll. Now, like I said, you do have to wait a split second or this doesn't work. Because they get up at the wrong time. So you just wait a second and then you do it. And it'll catch them no matter which way they attack and get up. So like I said, it's a little less damage, but you maintain the proximity, and there's no option they can use to get away from it as well. Now with your basic one that I showed before, you can mid kick, and you kind of got to guess because Yoshi Strut's not going to work if they mid kick, but it will follow them if they get up or don't get up. So that's when the mind game comes in between down 1 or up forward 2. They want to hit a button. The good thing is up forward 2 and down 1 will both hit on the ground, so they both cover that option. They overlap. And there was one last thing. Now, I've seen this before. I don't know if people do it on accident or if it's something they genuinely know. I found this out not too long ago. It's the rule of 6 as well, but instead of ending with a flashing steel at the end or down 2-2, you end with a back 1-2. Now, this does leave them a little room for reaction, but if they're nervous and they don't want to hit a button, it can give you a mix-up opportunity. So what you do is, say you do a standard combo and you end with 6 hits. You do Fubuki at the end, and it puts you in a weird position. Now you can try kind of go for a throw mix up especially if they get up quick roll left, which is just hitting one. And the thing is, because of the weird angle, normally you'll grab them because of the readjustment. Depending on the character, sometimes it's a little wonky. But you get a throw mix up essentially, and it makes it really hard to see the hands when you're sideways like this, and to see which throw you're going for when you do this setup essentially. But like I said, it does give them a little bit of time to react. But yeah, it makes it really hard to see your hands if they don't want to duck either, and you can go for a throw mix up that way. I believe this should work in any combo as long as you end it in 6 hits like this. Yeah, I don't see why it wouldn't. It's working especially well on left. Let me check right. It might not work too well. Oh, 2 worked there, not too bad. Yeah, Rainbow Drop did miss the one time, but it hit that time. So if they want a quick tech after that, and they don't react too well, yeah, you could go for a throw mix-up. So I just thought maybe I'd include that because it's kind of interesting. It's not really a tech trap, so to say, but it's kind of a mix-up opportunity if you want to switch it up. Now, I'm going to go ahead, and that was all I wanted to cover in like open space. I'm going to go ahead and head to the wall. Now, I did test this on big bodies and bears. Bears are stupid. I'll explain at the end the one that does not work on them, but I'll go ahead and start going over the rest of it. Now, Raven's pretty much a small body character, and I wanted to demonstrate that this stuff does indeed work on smaller characters. So we'll go ahead and get into it. Now, say you like end a combo with somebody at the wall. This will work no matter... Most of these will work no matter what height you have them splat up against the wall, as long as these moves hit. So say you just knock somebody up against the wall, you do back 2-1. Now if you do windmill right after that and they try to tech roll left or right, windmill will hit them every single time if they try to get up. Every single time. So say you just splat them, back 2-1, try to get up, windmill every time. So the mix-up is that covers half your options, because you have to tech roll to get up because you're sliding off the wall. Otherwise you can't. Otherwise your character will not get up. Will not get up right away. You could attack, but you still have to wait for your character to slide down the wall. So if you don't want to get up, I'll just leave it on not set. You just 2-1. And you can put pressure on them by doing low spins, because the low spins will splat them back up against the wall. Alright, that was weird. And you can continue to harass them if they want to get up. If they don't want to get up, you could do things like full crouch 4, down 1, nebular burst. You could do poison wind, and that's the mix-up. If they get up, sword sweep hits them, or you could do windmill, basically. So you just 2-1, low spins, and just keep harassing them till they want to get up, basically. If they want to hit a button, you can do wall rising mix-up. You could just do wall rising 4 and stuff whatever they want to do. You could do avoiding the puddle. That works. I'll demonstrate it on some of the other setups. So we'll go ahead and we'll put tech roll back on, just show you guys again. And yeah, like I said, it catches them. And say you do, I like forward 3-3. It generally does like the most damage for this particular setup, and it's pretty reliable. It doesn't always work if they're a little off axis, and it doesn't work too well on bigger bodies, so I wouldn't recommend it essentially on them. For bigger bodies, I believe you have to go to 3-3-3, but it doesn't work on smaller characters, so you have to make that adjustment right there. And I don't think it works on bears either, so you'd have to do low spins or something else. Or back 2-1. So yeah, 4-3-3 works in the same capacity. Puts them in that same situation. If they don't want to tech roll. Oh. My bad. They don't want to tech roll. Low spins for days. And you turn that into it. You just basically turn it into a 50-50. For guessing right or not. Oh yes, and if they don't want to get up 2, you could do a forward 1 if you want. Or up 1, my mistake. And you could stabby them on the ground. Down 2-2 also works. Say you're kind of further away. Down 2-2 works the same as back 2-1 and forward 3-3. You can do that as well. Show you guys again. Get up. As long as you do it right after it, nothing they can do about it. So it basically, this teaches people to stay on the ground against Yoshimitsu. So it basically teaches you like hitting them when they get up and using moves that are going to hit them on the ground, because it basically turns anytime you get them at the wall into a 50-50. And this one I was experimenting with just recently. They'd have to do a continuous roll to get up after this, because it completely splats them into the ground. Whoop. If you do woodcutter. Now they can't do a quick roll, they'd have to do a continuous roll. So they'd have to keep rolling. I can't get the computer to do it manually. Automatically, I'd have to do it manually. So you could do, if they want to do a continuous roll, you could do a full crouch 4, and you could stay on top of them that way. If they want to hit a button, I think you have like probably 14, 15, maybe more frames to interrupt them. So say they want to do a, let's see, recovery kick, because this is pretty much the fastest option they got after this situation. I guess that'll interrupt puddle. So let's see. Might not be the best option then, unfortunately. Let's see one more time. Damn. Messing it up right now. Well, you'd have to go for the low parry in that situation if you think they're gonna do the recovery kick. So you'd have to do, and then you put them back on the wall in that manner, and then they'd have to choose which way how they want to get up after that. So you could use woodcutter. It puts them into a different situation. If they want to do a mid or a low kick instead of the recovery kick, the situation does change. Because then you can get really big damage if they want to do a low kick or a mid kick after that. And then you put them back into the washing machine. For the most part, you get it. You can experiment with what kind of damage or what kind of setup you'd want to do after that. But as long as they don't do a recovery kick, back 2-1 will, since it'll be counter hit, we'll put them back on the wall. You could do down forward 1-2 there. So now it will put them back on the wall sometimes, as long as they're straight up against it. Otherwise you'd have to go for another mix up afterwards, but it is what it is. Tekken's not always the most consistent game. And see that, I mean, that time it works, so you just have to make the adjustment. Decide to go for whatever afterwards. And yeah, that'd be woodcutter. Fubuki. Now Fubuki, we'll go ahead and start talking a little bit more about the wall rising mix-up. So if you hit somebody with Fubuki, you do 1-2 and back turnaround kick. And if they want a tech roll afterwards, whoops, you get a windmill again. Windmill is always going to be your go-to for a lot of these situations. Now you are in crouch after that, so you could go for a sword sweep. So it's up to you. You kind of got a choice. You get the idea. And let's see. Say they want to attack instead, because they're going to slide off the wall. We'll turn the tech off. You can do a wall rising kick. I'll put a recovery kick on, see how airtight we can have this. Yeah, that will blow that up. I think Puddle might even interrupt that, so we'll just check it out. Okay, Puddle will not hit them. Let's see one other thing. Wow. Well, that kind of sucks for Yoshi. Let's see what else. I think if you delay it a little bit, you could do wow. It's kind of unfortunate. Yeah, I guess you could do that. Wall Rising 3 looks like it works pretty well. Wall Rising 3 works very well. Wall Rising 3 blows that up completely, and you don't really have to time it. You just kind of do it, and it just stuffs it. You do Wall Rising 2-1 if you want. Seems like the timing's pretty down on that, but yeah, that'd be your go-to for Fubuki if somebody's going to hit a button. Otherwise, if they're not going to hit a button, tech roll. Then you get sword sweep or sword spin, as we've stated in the 50/50s already. Now, the next couple are going to be kind of weird. But before that, I'll go ahead and talk about like your really go-to filler stuff, like solid things. Now, if you, with the new wall splat move, you don't really, depending on how far away you are, it kind of changes up the combo. So if you do like forward 4, what I found is consistent is you just do 4 again, and then you do forward 3-3. So forward 4, 4, forward 3-3, and then you put them back into the 50/50 situation. So you get 50 damage. Whoop. 50 damage, and you get the mix up afterwards. Oh, excuse me. Now, I did check, and that will work on every single character. Aside from bears, sometimes their wonky hitbox, they will fall out of that because bears. But generally, that will work on everybody for the wall bounce move. Now, some other things you could do to try to get people to get up, put them in like a false sense of security, is say you splat them against the wall, and you're kind of far away, you could do full slide. And you're still crouch. Easy tech trap for another sword sweep. Or you could do sword spin as well. It doesn't matter if you're crouching, as long as you input it correctly, you can still do windmill as opposed to doing sword sweep. And if they don't want to get up, you could always do low spins instead. And keep harassing them, basically. Generally, you could use full crouch forward because it's tracking. It hits them if they stay on the ground. Hit a button, try to roll. Period. So between like full crouch forward, low spins, and windmill, you cover basically every option. And sword sweep if you want to throw it in there, you know. So yeah. But yeah, that's you could use kin 3 there. Another weird thing you can kind of do is say you hit them with like, you could do flash twice, or you could do like into whatever. If you hit them with a knee, you could do you could walk forward a little bit. Get them with some low spins. And if they tech roll, you could do. Yeah, it's just if you want to mix it up a little bit. Now, I don't think a double flash works on bears, but it just happens to be off of this. I just noticed it, so it's something. Or you could just do one, like I said, off the knee and go into whatever. You get the idea. And rinse, repeat. Now, this last thing, this doesn't really work on the bears, but it is something that makes Yoshimitsu pretty scary if you know the proper moves for it. I know his hop kick is up forward 3, like I was showing you with the flash, will work for this situation. This covers every option, so it's like a perfect tech trap because it covers every option they can do after this. So say you hit them with up forward 3 at the wall, you do forward 4, and this will hit them no matter where they go, essentially. As far to that side as they are, it consistently hits them. Covers that side, and even if they do not get up. This is probably the most recent of Yoshi's like tech traps and so forth. So you just, and it's a low wall hit. Now you do take a chunk of damage, but if you can kill somebody with this, move, it's totally worth it because you still win. So in this situation, 29 plus 36, that's, what was that, 65 damage? That's pretty good off of just a hop kick at the wall. And there's nothing they can do about it. They can't tech roll. If they slide down the wall, they still get hit either way. So that's basically a flawless tech trap right there. Doesn't work on bears. For bears, you gotta do something stupid like full Harikari because their boxes are weird. And then when you do that, it puts you behind them because their boxes are just from another dimension. And yeah, I think that was pretty much everything I wanted to cover in general for tech traps. Now, I know they're not perfect. Some of them work really well, other ones not always. It's just you got flaws and strengths with every character. Some characters are more consistent than others, you know. It just depends sometimes on the pixels and things too, with or how the wall's shaped, where they hit on the wall, when you hit them on the wall. It's just how Tekken works, you know. But hope you guys got something out of this. I tried to come up with the best stuff I could to give you guys. I do use quite a bit of this on my own when I play, so I'm not just throwing out random stuff for you. But yeah, hope you guys liked. This is probably the last video I'm gonna do specifically for something. You guys would have to request me to do something else. Otherwise, I'm just gonna finish up punish videos and that's it. So hope you guys stick around, check out the other content, and yeah, take it easy.